Courtly manners, beautiful gardens, exquisite poetry, and of course, fine cuisine. Today we are exploring the Constantinople of India, the Shiraz-e-Hind. Today we are exploring Lucknow.
Discover the secrets of ancient ingredients, the exquisite culinary journey. Different cultures, different cuisines, one show. Shan Foods presents Serve.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Shan Foods Presents Served with me, Rohan Manmala. Historically also known as the Awadh region, Lucknow has always been a multicultural city. And if you want to know why, let's find out. And it's time now to discover the real cuisine of Lucknow, and to give us more information on the history behind the Lucknowi cuisine, we have with us the real food connoisseur, Mr. Sikandar Sultan. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So he's going to be giving us more information on Lucknowi cuisine. So to begin with, Lucknowi cuisine is also known as Awadhi cuisine or Awadhi Dastarkhwan. So what exactly does that mean?
In all of India, the refinement in the culinary arts was centered around in Awadh or in Lucknow. Lucknow is a place of culture, right. Of mannerism, of cuisine, of art, and you see most of the cooking or cuisine all over India has been influenced by Lucknowi cooking. Even the use of nuts in cooking, like cashew was introduced there, and most of when the Mughals made Delhi their seat in their kingdom, most of the chefs, the Khansamas, they were actually bought from Awadh to complement and use various kind of cooking methods in Delhi. Right. So Awadh has really been the seat of a lot of very fine cooking. Right. And whatever you see in the north today, the cuisine in the north, whether it's vegetarian or non-vegetarian, has a hallmark of Lucknowi style. So,
Mr. Sultan, what were the main cooking techniques that the Mughals used in the past?
In the 17th century, a lot of the cooking centered around making the meat more tender and more succulent and very delicious. Right. And for that, they use the slow cooking method. And when you make a slow cooking, what they do is they cover and seal so that the spices and the aromas and the flavors of the meat does not escape, and they cover it in such a manner, and that is called dum. Today it is called dum pukht because we have given another name to it. And these dum pukht dishes are very, very aromatic, very delicious, and very soft in the meat. Whether you cook biryani in the dum pukht style or you cook korma in the dum pukht style, it will always be very succulent, very tasty, very soft.
So when you talk about the authentic Nawabi foods, what are the main dishes that are there in this?
People would have layered parathas, and they would have the shirmal, which is again an invention in that era, that location, the Lucknow style. The shirmal is there, the kebab, the tikya kebabs, all of that were on the dastarkhan of the Nawabs or the rich.
Right. Okay, so when we talk about the Nawabs of Hyderabad and Nawabs of Lucknow, what are the similarities between Lucknowi and Hyderabadi cuisine? See,
Hyderabadi cuisine is different because they use a lot more of the tamarind, imli, and they use tomatoes, and it is like sour and hot. Whereas here it is more milder in Awadh. So this is difference in the region, the way they were, and especially in the Nizam's era, the 17th century, the cooking took new heights. There were more than 30 types of kache dam ki biryani. Wow. a style of making meat, putting the meat and rice together and cooking it as a biryani. But it was extremely good because the meat was not cooked separately, and the temperature needed for and the time needed for cooking meat and rice is totally different. Rice cooks much faster, but they developed this technique.
So lastly, we would like to know that Lucknowi halwa is world renowned. So are there any other desserts that Lucknow has to offer?
The halwas which originated in Lucknow, one of them is Sohan halwa, the other is Habshi halwa, Papdi halwa, you have kheer, firni, dudia halwa. So a lot of these desserts got popular there and still are today. Indians love to eat sweet after the meals, and I think all over India you will find less and less people eating fruit desserts or fruit salads. They normally have some kind of a preparation.
It's like a heavy
it's like a tradition to have something really sweet.
Right.
And I think it comes from the background that people mostly were working class and they needed more energy after it. So even in the rural class you would see that kheer, for instance, or rice pudding was very, very famous, and every household would make its own type of kheer. But definitely the refinement all over India in food has come from Awadh.
Well, thank you so much. Well, now it's time to move on to our second segment, which is from the chef's kitchen, but on the other side of the break. Stay tuned to Shan Foods Presents Serve.
Shan Foods presents Serve.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching Shan Foods Presents Served with me, Rohan Manwala. Well, they say that the cuisine of Lucknow has got its own distinct individuality and own style, and the traditional food of Lucknow has been highly patronized by the Mughals by giving it a very royal touch. And now, since we are in Dao Ka Angan, the royal touch continues in our next segment, which is... And we are right now in Dao Ka Angan restaurant in Dubai, over here to learn an authentic Lucknowi recipe. And to help us with that, we have Chef Trilok. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, sir.
How are you today?
Thank you.
And Chef Trilok is going to teach us an authentic Lucknowi recipe today. So let me just quickly ask him, आज हम क्या बनाने वाले हैं?
आज हम बनाने वाले लखनवी दम का मुर्ग.
Lucknowi dum ka murg. And quickly let's have a look at the ingredients. So इसमें हम लोग क्या क्या डालेंगे?
हम अपने पहले ग्रीन चिल्ली डालेंगे, फिर चॉप गार्लिक डालेंगे, फिर ऑनियंस डालेंगे चॉप, फिर कोरिएंडर है, फिर ग्रेवी है उसमें.
तो ग्रेवी किससे बनी?
ऑनियन और ब्राउन काजू है इसमें.
ओके.
और चॉप टमाटो है.
ओके.
बाद में सिनेमन स्टिक पाउडर है.
ओके.
और ये जूनियन जिंजर.
जिंजर जूलियंस. और ये यहाँ पे क्या है?
ये चिकन है, जो चिकन ब्रेस्ट पीस है.
ओके.
इसको हमने पुदीना और दही में मैरिनेट करके रखा.
And we are right now in the kitchens of Dao Ka Angan restaurant in Dubai with Chef Trilok, all set to make Lucknowi dum ka murg. तो सबसे पहले इसकी क्या स्टेप है?
सबसे पहले ऑयल डालेंगे हम लोग, फिर उसमें जिंजर डालेंगे, फिर गार्लिक को सौते करेंगे.
Okay, so we are sauteing ginger and garlic in oil. So let's just begin.
ऑयल जो है इसको थोड़ा गर्म होने दिया.
Now we are sauteing the ginger and garlic. Okay. Okay, it's time now for some ginger. Finely chopped ginger. So we're gonna saute it till it turns golden brown. So chef, tell us, why are we adding ginger and garlic before the onions? Because technically Indian खानों में प्याज पहले पड़ता है, तो हम लोग पहले ginger and garlic क्यों डालें?
जिंजर गार्लिक इसलिए डालते हैं कि हम लोग उसको कलरफुल करते हैं, उसका फ्लेवर आता है गार्लिक और जिंजर का. तो वो ऑनियन पहले डालोगे तो वो उसको ब्राउन नहीं होगा बराबर.
Okay.
ऑनियन का जब पहले फ्लेवर आएगा.
So if you really want the real taste of ginger and garlic, you should add that first and then your onions. Perfect.
इसके बाद
some nice green chilies. And we're now getting this amazing aroma of burnt ginger and garlic, and trust me, it's amazing. Okay, nice. Now it's time for your chopped onions. And now we're stir frying the onions till it gets golden brown. It's time now to add some finely chopped tomatoes. Well, now it's time to add the onion, cashew nut and yogurt gravy. And it's time to add some water in it. Okay, that is something which adds real flavor to this, the cinnamon powder. Time for some salt to taste.
Chili powder, red chili powder.
Okay, red chili powder as per your taste. So
Haldi powder है.
Turmeric. Coriander powder. So while our gravy is being cooked for 10 to 15 minutes, it's time now to work on the chicken breast. So basically इसको हम क्या करेंगे अभी
हम इसको ऐसे लगेंगे, फिर उसके बाद स्टफिंग करेंगे इसके अंदर.
Stuffing. Now it's time for the chicken breast to go into the tandoor. So what we are doing is we are taking the chicken breast and we are putting our egg and minced stuffing in it, and it goes in a nice roll and that goes in the tandoor. Well, now this goes in the tandoor and I'm excited to see what happens after that. So chef, what about people who don't have tandoor in their house? वो लोग क्या कर सकते हैं जिनके घर पे तंदूर नहीं है?
वो लोग यूज़ कर सकते हैं, इसको स्टीम करके पका सकते हैं, पानी में डाल के ढक्कन लगा के इसको स्टीम करके भी बना सकते हैं दम का.
Okay, so people who unfortunately don't have tandoors in their house can still cook this recipe. They can boil the water and immerse this stuffed chicken in it and it gives you the same taste. Okay, now our gravy seems to be ready and so is our tandoor. So let's have a look at what is the next step. Okay, now we're going to cut it into slices.
Shan Foods presents Serve.
Welcome back after the break. It's time now to experience the scrumptious flavors of Lucknow in our next segment, which is our guest for today is Aditya Kaul. A keen food enthusiast, Aditya holds a culinary degree and also is a bass guitarist for a popular Middle East-based band called Red House.
And we are right now with the very talented Aditya Kaul. So welcome to our show, Aditya.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm very good.
So Aditya, I would like to know from you that I personally believe in music is essential for everyone's life. And there are hardly a few people who actually get a chance to make music as their career. So how did that happen to you?
Well, I started playing when I was in high school. I was given a CD by my dad, and listening to that over and over and over. That's the only CD I had. Listening to that over and over again, I just got lost in the beats and everything, and decided to get an instrument. I got a drum, just a drum, single drum.
It was not the guitar.
No, it wasn't the guitar to start with, it was the drum. And just banging on it, it sounded awful. And then eventually started sounding a little better. And then just never looked back from there, just kept going, you know. And now learned a few other instruments, picked it up along the way. And now, yeah, I do it all the time.
And you are a bass guitarist in a rock band. So how did that happen? How did rock happen to you?
Well, after listening to music that played on the radio, things my friends listened to, rock was just something that stuck, you know. It sounded so great, the melody of all these instruments together. And yeah, after listening to it for the first time, it was just, you know, I didn't stick to anything else. It was just rock all the time.
That's brilliant. So I'm sure the audience wants to know more about your rock band. So tell us something more about your band.
Well, I play for a band called Red House, and it's a mix of few guys, like-minded guys. After playing years in the basement, you know, in their houses, not to an audience or anything, we just decided to come together and play, and it sounded good and it felt good. So we just decided to go from there, you know, and start playing a few shows and see what the people think, and people liked it. So yeah, we're just doing that now.
And since we're talking about his passion for food, I want to know from you, have you ever tried out Lucknowi food before?
Not really. You know, I've tried a lot of different Indian food, but Lucknowi is not one of them. I mean, I've heard a lot about it. You know, very rich food and a lot of complex flavors, but I couldn't critique it.
So Aditya is ready and so are we. So let's have a look at what's in our menu today. Well, the starters seem to be amazing, and it's time to ask Aditya, what do you feel about the starters?
I think it's very nice, flavorful.
Yeah.
This the first one's very light, nice, goes nicely with the raita. It's great. I like it.
And now Aditya is going to try out this amazing Lucknowi main course.
It's nice, it's fresh.
Yeah.
Palak tastes great. The curry is not too spicy, it's just about right.
It's amazing.
It's very nice.
And now Aditya and I have seemed to enjoy our main course, and it's time for desserts. And as they say, no Indian meal is ever complete without the desserts. And today's dessert is extremely special and extremely unique as well. You know why? Because it's mirchi ka halwa, Lucknowi style. Have you heard of anything like that before?
Never. I've never seen anything or tried anything like this before.
Same here, even me too. And quite honestly, in Dao Kangan, this is the first time that I'm going to try this out. So without wasting any further
Let's
time,
go.
Let's just dig in. It doesn't taste like mirchi at all. It's amazing.
It's very good.
So Aditya, what's your take on this amazing mirchi ka halwa?
It's so good. I love it. Can't stop eating it.
Amazing. So Aditya loves his mirchi ka halwa, and so did we. And if you want a chance to come here and try out this authentic Lucknowi cuisine, answer this simple question and win.
Which dessert was served in today's episode? SMS your name space answer to 6565.
Well, in all honesty, I really enjoyed filming today's Lucknow special episode. I felt like a total Nawab, and I hope you must have enjoyed watching it too. With this promise that I'm gonna get you a brand new cuisine and brand new region next week, this is your host Ronan Mala signing off, saying goodbye and namaste.